Hi guys.
Hello.
So welcome to Davis's family. Okay. Today is our sixth year anniversary.
Traditional.
Traditional anniversary. So our wedding anniversary is coming up next month. So ooh, yes. So guys, we are so happy and we are so grateful to God. So we did something like this last year, right? Like they said that marriage is an institution that nobody graduates from until you die, until your last day on earth, as a married man and as a married woman. So marriage is an institution where we learn every day. Like you cannot know it all. The more you think you know, the more situations unfold things in your home, in your marriage. When you think you know, things will happen and you now come to realize that I don't still know. It does not matter how many years you've spent with that man or with that woman. Marriage is where we learn, unlearn, experience, patience, and a lot of things happening. So we're not here to tell you that our marriage for the past 6 years has been 100% perfect. We have our ups, we have our downs, we have our challenges.
Yeah.
Even in the midst of chaos, we are here holding each other, even when we have issues, because our mom don't lie, we dey quarrel too. That's part of it. That's part of the things that spice up, marriage. So, nevertheless, we are so grateful to God that God is still holding us in His hand. Because there are things that will happen in marriage sometimes that you feel like you want to walk away, like I'm done, I'm done, I no fit, right? But one thing led to another, you will still find something, that will still keep you going. Let me tell you, challenges will come. Things will happen. Like it will look like everything is going to end immediately. In fact, marriage is packed with a whole lot of experiences. Like if I start to mention them, I will not stop today. But in all things, we give glory to God that here we are today, and still managing ourselves and still moving forward, believing God that everything will be fine, right? And believing God that He will continue to hold us until our last day on earth. So we are grateful for our marriage. So help us and thank God and also rejoice with us. But before we move further, I have some few questions that we're gonna ask. Maybe you are still single or you are married. Maybe there are some challenges you are going through in your marriage. Maybe it's one of the questions you are going to ask. Maybe you've been asking yourself, how will I be able to solve this problem? Or how will I be able to handle this situation? Maybe you will learn one or two from us. Maybe you're going to draw strength from us. Maybe there is something God is about to, open up. A channel that God is about to open up for you, maybe to learn through our experiences. So I have a few questions to ask my husband this evening, and we're gonna kind of have small interaction, right? So let's go. This is our 6-year marriage, and I'm gonna ask 6 questions straight up. So let's go. Babe, no, hold on. Babe, I'm gonna ask you. These are the 6 questions, right? Why is going up? That is it now.
Okay.
So guys, I'm going to ask our number 1 question today is, what has been our biggest challenge as a couple? And how did it change us? So if you're watching me, I don't know your biggest challenge, but my husband is going to tell me one of his biggest challenge in this marriage. Maybe I would say my own too. I don't know. So let's go. So
you say your own too.
I'll say my own.
Yeah.
Everybody's gonna share their, because your own experience with me is quite different from mine. So honest review. What has been our biggest challenge as a couple, and how did it change us? So babe, over to you.
That's a very big question. Hello everyone. Welcome once again. It is last time you're here again. Our biggest challenge as a couple is, how do I put it now? There's something we categorize our times in the marriage. There's loving, happy, good time, and there's sad, quarter time. So our biggest challenge is staying very long in the happy, loving time. Hello everyone. We did this last year, our last anniversary, and we're here again. Okay, for the question, what's our biggest challenge as a couple? It's something we do within us. There's something to do within us. We used to categorize our times or our mood in our marriage. We have the happy and loving time, or happy and loving period, and we have the sad and fighting period. Let me put it down. When we're not talking well with each other, we're not flowing well with each other because of maybe an argument or an issue. So our biggest challenge is to stay in that loving and happy period long enough. That interruption comes in and it disrupts a lot of things, a lot of activities, a lot of plans. So our biggest challenge is staying in that happy and loving period or mood for a very long time. Sometimes the happy mood can be 1 week, sometimes it can be 3 weeks, sometimes 1 month. Sometimes we go 3 months, 2-3 months, happy and loving, and there's no quarrel. And we're telling ourselves, we have been long without quarrel. And before you know, something happens and bam, we shift back into the quarrel and sad period. And also we try as much as possible not to stay in that period for so long, try to reconcile and get back into the loving period.
Okay, in that's in response to what you just said, right? If you eat sugar every day, we just buy you. Let's be honest. Even in a relationship when you are not yet married to that person, many times when issues happen or when there is a misunderstanding, maybe it happens for a purpose anyway. Nobody wants to be having issues. But maybe in those moments there are things that situation is shifting. Do you understand? So nobody will come out and tell you now that I've spent a whole year. A whole year is even too much. Let's just say 1 week or a month without arguments with his or her partner. Do you understand? So many times we may not agree because we are different human beings and we have our own mindsets. So in respect to that, we can easily disagree and that rift will just come in. Right, so you can't eat sugar every day. Too much of everything is bad. So maybe once in a while, you have
too much of loving is bad.
It's kind of toxic because when you're gonna see us, I'm not saying that we should not stay loving. I think to that we have been working on it for a very long time because it's not easy for two people that grew up in two different backgrounds coming together to live as couple all the days of their life. Of course, challenges will come in. Don't just expect everything to be rosy and go smoothly like that. No. So in those small challenges that will come in, that's where everybody will know their own part. I know do this thing well. Be like this girl don't like this thing. Be like my wife don't like her, my husband don't like her. Let me adjust myself. In coming together to settle that issue, meaning that you have acknowledged that this one why I do no good though. Be like I didn't do it well. Okay, let me try the other way around. All I need is a happiness. Okay, no worry. Let's say this one not to like this thing. Let me adjust myself. You have to. Love comes with a lot of sacrifice, right? You have to adjust a lot of things to match with your partner's energy to make it work. Do you understand? So there are times we say for like that 1 month, everybody just mind in business like say nothing they happen. But now they feel happy. There are sometimes that even in the midst of the argument, somebody can just talk something. Once I will start laughing. The laugh go dey vex me, but in the midst of when they try to stay serious, I go bust my own laugh. Before you know it, maybe you were very angry and mad before. That small thing will just change the whole. You self go, and everybody will just let that one go jare. Right? It's not that he's stupid or me I'm stupid, but we cannot just stay the same as and we are not talking to they work like that. Sometimes the one now, the small challenge that we have maybe 1 or 2 days. I go as really get why being I go need maybe he made the kick out for me, maybe beg me, and he will be calling are you still angry? Sometimes when he start the mess, so I just want me to tell me sorry, I won't make it bribe me. So okay, not stop. Continue to bribe me.
Bribe you with a lot.
It's not really a lot now. Just buy me something. just buy anything can just change the atmosphere, right? But nevertheless, whether gift or no gift, we have to find a settled ground. So so we just need to agree and come to terms, come to compromise. All right, let's go. Let's move over to the next question. So the second question is, how has our communication evolved over the 6th year? Okay, let me answer this number 2. Right? You see, this communication thing is a very strong thing.
A very strong
one. It's a very strong one. No, I don't know about you if you are married and you're watching me. I don't know about you, but communication is very, very important in marriage because if people do not communicate effectively, it's going to be a very big problem. A lot of things will go wrong. And effective communication simply means when this person is trying to air her mind, maybe I'm the one that is trying to air my mind, and my partner should also hear me. Maybe he's the one that is, trying to air his own mind. I think I also should hear him. Try to adjust ourselves. This is not a question of who is right and who is wrong. This is a situation of how will this work for both of us. How will this work for, like, how do we fix it, make it work in our marriage? That's all that matters. So you see that communication thing, we are still working on ourselves. We are not perfect in communication, right? So if your own is, if you are in that position, you are in that situation right now, that's what you are passing through in your relationship or in your marriage, my dear, continue to work on it. It's not easy. We are two different people. Everybody have their own decision to their own mind and what they believe in. So this one now, try whether I like it or not, make it work. Baba, let's make it work. If not, this one will work, let's go. All right. So that is it. Let's move to number 3. Maybe you're gonna answer number 3. Number 3 is, what have we learned about balancing individuality and togetherness?
All have we learned? Okay, because we were two different people with different backgrounds, come from different families.
Okay.
We have our own ideas of life. We have our own approach to life. We have our own reaction to things in life. At first, there were a lot of clashes. Take for instance, in my house where I came from, we hardly lock our doors. We don't lock our doors. Our doors are always open. We just close. Sometimes we don't even close. We just leave it open. There's a net. A door net that's in front there. And when we got married, there's always this clash of, why is the door not locked? The door is open. Somebody can just open the door and come in. If the person come, what's the person looking for? There was this clash because of our individuality. This is just for door. There are a lot of other things. There are other things like where you keep your dirty clothes, where how you use the toilet, how you eat, a lot of little things that cause clash. So another one. What's the thing? There's a little break there. Another area where we had clash is how you step out of the bathroom after taking a bath. Okay, there are still a lot of other little clashes, but in all, we knew we were different individuals, and this is bound to happen. So we try to find a middle ground and make compromises so that it's not too extreme. We find the middle ground where I can live with and she can also live with, and it's a lot to change from both sides, but we found a common ground, and this has helped us in being together. This is our togetherness. Yes, the middle ground. Very important. Always find the middle ground.
Okay. What shifts my mindset to what my husband just said is that we are two different individuals, right? We have our own experiences from our, should I say, upbringing. So sometimes they steal, but we don't have any choice than to do what. The bottom line there is to correct each other with love. Yeah, correct each other with love. All right. So let's move to number 4 question, Abi baby. Number 4, it said, what moment made us realize how strong our partnership is? Okay, I'm gonna answer that question. See, there are, I don't know, uncountable moments in our lives that we have had so much experiences about different events, different things, that had happened in different times. Like it looked like, should this still continue in this relationship? I mean, in this marriage, I will make everybody go mind in business. I will make we face front. But somehow, because thank God for the Spirit of God, because marriage is not something that you just come up to do with your own power. I have power, right? It's not something you do with your own strength. First of all, we put God ahead of our marriage, ahead of our home, and that is why in difficult times, even when we've lost strength, right? Even in our weakness, God will step in and be our strength. So there are different things. Okay, let's just say number 1 from the challenges of children, having children. So I know there are a lot of couples that by now, maybe they would have called it a quit, or a lot of things will start happening in their home. But God held us together and still holding us. Yeah, I will come up with one of the stories, one of the things that happened that had happened to us in our marriage. I've not yet talked about it to anybody. Maybe when my book comes out, because I'm writing a book on that, I'll be able to share the deeper experience of what had happened to us. But in everything, God kept us. The challenges were much. Sometimes we want to come up with chaos. Especially this one, a lot had happened, but God kept us. Yeah, God kept us. So we thank God for that.
Okay, to add to what you just said, the moments that made us realize how strong our relationship and marriage is in the past when I've been sick or when she was sick. The way we look out for each other, the way we care for each other, do everything for each other, the care and the attention and the compassion is so much and so strong that we feel the pain of each other. When I'm sick, she feels so bad as if she was the one that is sick. That she just like she should just take the sickness and bear it on herself so I can be okay. Same thing with her whenever she's not feeling fine. I feel so bad, I feel so down. Like, what can I do? Let this thing just go away. Can I just take it away from her? Yeah, that's how I know we're really strong with each other. We don't like each other being down.
At all.
Yeah.
Okay, so question number 5. He said, what habits or patterns did we have to unlearn for our marriage to grow? This one sweet and tough at the same time. We needed to unlearn arguments. You see, arguments. My daddy here supposed to be a lawyer. This man can argue for life. Like, even when you know say this is not truth, this man will argue you until you begin to doubt the truth in your head. It was a very big challenge. And me, I'm not a fast talker and I'm not the talking kind of person. So many times you want to argue, and me, I don't want to argue. Once I say my own piece, I'm quiet. I don't like stress. So if you start that argument, it will start giving me headache and problem. Baba we argue and argue and argue. At the end of it, or I'll be in the end. It's okay, no wala, I agree. But for you to know that marriage can change somebody at a point, on my con they learn the arguments. As Baba they argue, me I say in a lie. I know what I know. I'm not mad. That one is my language from time to time. I'm not crazy. I know what I'm saying. And if you argue me, if you throw me up, I stand on my word. I'm not the shit. I don't go anywhere. What if it's the one I'm not sure of? If you don't dey argue, I can't keep what you say. I don't catch you. I don't catch you. So you see that I don't catch you. I just keep quiet. So arguments, and we needed to be selfless. Yes, because in marriage, you have to be selfless. There are things that maybe they want to jeopardize with your happiness, or they want to make you uncomfortable, but you just need to give up for your partner to be fine. So many times, we sacrifice for each other, not because I want to mumu, or I want to know. Or if na mumu no wala, I dey mumu for them, they mumu for me too. Two of us they mumu together. So we are selfless to each other. All right. So the last question here is what are we most proud of after 6 years of togetherness? Should I answer? You answer.
Answer.
Okay. What are the most proud of?
What are we most proud of?
What are we most proud of after 6 years togetherness? You see, strength. I never knew I can be this strong, or I never knew that we can be this strong in this marriage, because we have seen the 99, the 1% that is remaining. I don't know whether I don't see Amabi. That one too is yet to unfold. Things have challenged us. Situations have challenged us. Like we found ourselves in different situations and different occasions where it like say we want to give up. But you know what? God stepped in for us. He said he's our strength in our weakness. Honestly, in that moment, two of us were weak, but God stepped in. Even when it looks like it wants to touch our life, God stepped in. God said he's our God. And right from the first day we started this marriage, he was there on the altar the day we took our vow. And God has never left us. God has been there always and with us. Even here I'm talking to you now, God has been faithful. God has been faithful. So I'm proud of our strength together. Because I know if this marriage is not rooted in Christ or is not rooted in God, maybe many things would have happened. Because things have challenged me from his own end. I did not give in, I did not give up. Things have also challenged him from my own side. Which if he happens to be some men, they would have walked away. If I happens to be some kind of women, I would have also walked away. But two of us, we knew that we are weak in both areas, but we found strength. In that weakness, God strengthened us, and here we are today. We are grateful to God. So our strength is our number one. Is number one thing that we are proud of. Okay, so that's the sixth question. So in this 6 years of our life together, it's been awesome with the help of God. And we pray. God said that He knows the end from the very beginning, and there is nothing that is difficult for Him to do. So whatever we are expecting from God, the truth is we don't want to be faster than ourselves. We don't want to be faster than God. So wherever we find ourselves now, and wherever God has placed us, we are happy to be there and waiting patiently on God and believing God that He is the God of all flesh. He said already that He is the God of all flesh, that there is nothing that is impossible for Him to do. So we are grateful for our marriage, and Yes,
and He will make all things perfect.
perfect in His own timing. Yeah. So thank you all for listening to us. Stay with us. If you are seeing this video, please kindly help us to like, subscribe to our YouTube channel. So thank you so much, and have a wonderful evening.
And happy anniversary to us, baby.
Yeah, baby.
That's our signature kiss.
Yeah, yeah.